Hello, everybody. This is Helen again, and this is week 3 of our trees, gnomes, and angels, and things like that. And I wanted to show you the the gnome. I kind of like made a quick gnome to see if I like it like this. And what I'm trying to do is make a very, very simple gnome. Mine is going to be white, okay? And I'm going to make a bigger one, and I'm going to try to make some, pierce some stars in this so that, or holes in it, so that I can put tea light or those little fairy lights in there. And um, there'll be a big hole in the bottom, okay? Now, you can make this out of, what is it? Air dry clay, not the Crayola kind, but the one, not paper mache, but air dry clay. And they do sell it in the clay stores. I don't know where else they sell it. Maybe you can look online like Michael's and Amazon and see if they actually sell that kind of thing. But I just kind of did a quick sketch. I haven't like attached anything to see if I like it. So, I can do like this, like if he's surprised, or just have him hanging down, or maybe holding his belly kind of, okay? And when I went online, I noticed that a lot of the gnomes just have the beard and the nose sticking out, and the hat seems to cover everything. I didn't make any beard line, hairline texture marks here. And I'm still debating whether I want to do that. First I thought I wasn't going to put feet on it, but so you could do it without feet, but once I put shoes on it, it kind of looked cuter. So I'm probably going to make one with shoes on it, okay? The hat was a little bit challenging for me. This one's a little bit curved and everything, but I kind of like the floppiness, all right? So this is just a sketch. So I'll show you what, from start to finish. But before I do that, I'll show you what it looks like when you put the fairy lights in. And this one's a gnome, but I made the Christmas tree one. Oh, let's see, here it is. This one is a, what do you call it? Rainbow color fairy light. And I didn't make room for the cord on the bottom, but let's see. Okay, so let's see if I can turn off the light. Okay, so I thought this was kind of really pretty. And the fairy lights I ordered are going to be clear. So they're going to be like white light. I couldn't find the rainbow one. So this is, I forgot where I bought this, but I just shoved it in here. And it has a battery operated thing. I wonder if I don't think I have room to put the actual thing in here. And you can kind of see it. Yeah, I guess I could put it in there, but you can see it. So you might want to put it out and hide it behind or something, okay? It does kind of shine a little bit. You see some light shining. You can't tell right now, but in the dark, it seems like it shows some light. So I really like this a lot. And that's why I'm going to keep it white and pierce it, okay? Now, you don't have to do it that way. You can paint yours with acrylic paints. If you're using, I bet you can use watercolor paints. I think if your clay is white, I bet you can use watercolor paints and it'll still look good, okay? All right, so start to finish. Once again, we start with a pinch pot. Let me move this aside. And I'm debating whether to keep this little sketch one or not. Oops, I lost a foot. But I don't want, until I decide I'm going to have to wrap it up so it doesn't dry out on me. We have the heat on I have the heat on in here, so things might dry out a lot faster. I'm going to move him aside. So hopefully it stays a little bit wetter. Okay, so once again, you want to make 2 pinch pots. And this one's going to be a little bit bigger. So make sure your clay is wedged really good. And putting two pinch pots together, really, you can create a lot of fun things. Right? And I apologize for the noise. I turned on the washing machine and I forgot that I put it on extra rinse, so it keeps going. And I don't know how to stop it because it's a new washer and I haven't, it's a bit complicated here. Okay, so I'm thinning out the walls because I don't want it too thick. Now, because I'm going to open up the bottom, so, you know, I'm going to actually have a carve out the bottom, so it's not going to have a bottom. And that way I can set it on top of a tea light, or I can insert those fairy lights in there. I can carve out the thickness from the inside, but I'm going to try to get it thin. You don't want it too thin. You want it about no less than 3/8, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, so more than 1/4 of an inch. Is that 1/4 of an inch? Yeah, so more than 1/4 of an inch. Okay. If your clay is super wet, you might have to go thick and then carve out the excess later, but I'm going to try to get as thin as possible. So I'm pushing against the table because my fingers aren't going to be able to reach all the way down to the bottom. Try not to flare out the rim as much as possible. Okay, I do know it's kind of thick on the top. So let me see, it's drying out already. Press down in there like that and roll it. See if I can thin that out. Okay. All right, so I got one side. I know it doesn't look like a pinch pot, but, and it's starting to crack and dry on me here. So I'm just going to wipe it down. Yeah, in the winter when you have the heat on, sometimes it just dries out faster. A little bit thin there. Okay, so from start to finish, I'll show you how to make this. Okay, try not to flare out the rim, okay? So I'm just gonna avoid pushing on the rim area and just out of the way. Okay, it looks a bit pointy right here because of the way I'm pushing it. Let's see if I can get it. This guy's gonna get big. I can cut it down, make it smaller. Remember, the air dried clay probably doesn't shrink that much, but if you use regular clay, it's gonna shrink like around 10% or even more depending on the clay and the temperature. So it's gonna come out smaller looking. All right, so kind of pointy like the top of his head. All right, I'm gonna see if I can step down a little bit. Maybe this is too dark. There we go. That's better. Okay, now I've kind of rolled this out a little bit thin than usual. Let's see if I can work with it this soft. Okay, I'm gonna straighten out the rim here, and it's also way too big. I'm gonna have a gigantic gnome. I think gnomes are supposed to be small beings, so. So my inspiration is I looked at all the different gnomes, but I really like the just pure white. I didn't see really that many that was just pure white. Most of them had colors or were painted or something. Okay, so I've got two pinch pot shapes, and you can use either a needle tool, okay, or I just have that one with the bunches of needles. And I don't use slip, I just wet the rim, and then I really score it pretty deep, okay? You want that jagged edge so that the two pinch pots will mesh together. So I got this really scored pretty rough. I'll just put that down and then do it on the other side. Okay, so I just score it real good. Okay. So, and now the idea is to seal this up really good and trap the air, oops, trap the air in there. So it's kind of floppy. I could put tissue in there and then take it out later after I open the bottom. That's possible too. But I'm just gonna do it this way. And then I will, so basically I have it kind of sealed up. Then I'll go push this together, and you don't want to be neat here, okay? You want that jagged edge so that the clay grips onto each other. Then I'll go in the other direction. And I probably don't have this sealed pretty good. Kind of jiggle it, make sure it's on there good. Okay. Then I'll go in the other opposite direction to seal it really good. Hopefully I don't have any holes here. Okay. So I'm just, and I did make these pinch pots super thin, so it's a little bit tricky here right now. Normally I would work thicker, but I just wanted to try thin. Okay, now I'm going to take and make a coil, roll out a coil. You don't want your coil to be dried out, okay? Roll out a coil here, and I'm going to shove it in that place, okay? Careful, but push and just shove that in the jagged area. Okay, need a little bit more. Okay, so this is reinforcing that seam because it's going to pop open on me if I don't. I'm going to take this again, just smear it on there. Okay, and then do it the other side. Okay, I don't want any of that air to escape. I want it to be like a balloon. Okay, so now if you want, you can smooth it out with your fingers or your thumb. Okay. My clay is super soft and super wet. It might give me trouble. Okay. All right, so I'll just keep working on it. All right, kind of roll it on the seam. Okay, so it's a little bit thin here, might burst open it. Now I'm going to take my flexible rib. This is the metal rib that's flexible. If you don't have one of these, if you have a soft one of these, okay, mine's not super soft. Just wet just the edge right here. You could try that, but what I'm doing is pushing and pulling, pushing and pulling. And I can flex this a lot more, so I can use this. So you're just pushing, pulling. You're not just doing the surface, okay? You're really trying to smush that clay really good. Okay. You want all that space to be filled in. So whatever it takes to Smush it, and then sometimes this will dry out. Get rid of the excess clay and smush and pull. Okay, so now I've got this round thing, and I just need to decide what kind of shape it is, but I can't like tap it too hard because there are some super thin parts and it will pop on me. So I'll just tap it around the bottom, okay? And I'm kind of moving the clay at the same time. Okay, it's very thin right there, so I got a dent. You can also use a wooden paddle. And this is just a wooden spoon, cooking spoon. You want to tap, tap, tap and get it the shape you want. This part takes a long time. Okay, you don't want to whack it too hard. You will pop it. So if your seam is reinforced really good, it should be okay. If not, you're gonna pop it there. So always put a barrier between your work surface and your clay. Okay, so let's see. I like the turntable because I can turn it, tap it, okay? So I think I'm gonna make the top of this head a little flatter. I'm debating, once I put the hat on, I'm debating, and then open the bottom, I'm debating whether or not I should cut out that hole just to get rid of the excess clay, and also I'm not sure if I can pierce the head. Well, I might be able to, yeah, just so maybe if I had pierced the, what is this hat? The light can shine through it. So this is leaning on me. This is not, I've got some really thin wall here, so it's moving around on me. I'm actually going to, let's see, roll it a little bit on the side. And what the air is pushing out the clay and helping me shape it. Okay, this is the bottom. I gotta, so if your clay is super wet like mine, and you make a big piece, sometimes it'll sag. So as it slowly dries and hardens, you go back and keep working it like this, okay? There we go, I'm just rounding the bottom. Not even, and this part's super soft. Hold on. Let's hope I don't pop it. Now, if your this round ball thing is too full of air, you can carefully make a little tiny, use your needle tool, make a little tiny hole and release some of the air, but you got to seal up that hole. I'm just going to see if I can shape this. I have no clue what kind of shape he's supposed to be. Probably just an oval. I'm not sure. Okay. I guess all gnomes are male. I'm not sure. They all have beards, it seems like. Good, the washer dried. I mean, finished. Not exactly the perfect shape. Okay, kind of like an egg shape. It's kind of flat on this side. Push it out, push it, push it. Okay, squeeze the top and see if I can make the bottom come out. Okay. Let's see. This one's a nice shape. This one's kind of flat. So watch how I squeeze this and it'll pop out. Okay, see how it pops out. Okay, I could try that. It might not budge on me. I might make this the front because then I'll have the beard and this could be his back. All right. So I'm not going to remember that. So I'm just going to put a notch there. All right. Now let's go ahead and clean this up as much as possible. Squeeze out, get your wet sponge, but squeeze it really good. Get the water out really good. And gently kind of smooth this out. Get rid of any cracks. It's easier to get it cleaned up now than later on because the beard's going to be in the way. You're going to have arms. I'm having trouble with the back. It's too messy. Let's see if I can clean that up. So once again, I'm doing the push and pull. And it's too flat. Okay, you don't want to get the sopping wet because I don't know why it's one part. Maybe that's hard clay there. Okay, hopefully I don't pop it. Really try to push the bulge. Okay, let's clean this up. And then I probably have to reshape it once I clean it up. So squeezed out sponge acts like sandpaper. See if I can get rid of any dents. Maybe this will help a little bit. Yeah, if I had done this push and pull thing correctly or thoroughly, I wouldn't have to deal with this right now. Okay. Clean this up the best you can. All right, I gotta reshape it. It sagged. I distorted it. Okay, I'm gonna have to sit down so I can see the profile a little bit better. Don't like that dent. Actually, this paddling is the fun part. Oops. So this is going to be my back. I think his belly comes out more. This back isn't as flat as it was before, but I think I have space to give him feet here too. All right, now you have to put, I think, the beard and the nose first on. So let's see. I rolled out a really thin piece of clay. And I have to eyeball. You can cut a pattern. I guess you can cut a paper pattern. That might be easier. Let me see if I can, because I keep cutting the clay and I can't get it right. So let me see if I can do it with a piece of paper first. That'll be much, much easier. Okay, so I have purple colored paper. And I'm just going to eyeball it, see how the ones I see online, they have like, some of them have big, big beards. So we'll test different sizes out. Let's see if we like. I just fold the paper in half so it comes out, symmetrical. This is probably too wide, but I'm going to give it a simple shape. So that's way too big for him, okay? But then if it goes under the hat, I don't know. It's hard to tell until you get like the nose and the arms and the feet together. And let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go with this size. And if I don't like it, I guess I can redo it. So throw that away. So I'll put this on here. Now, before I cut it, I think I want to pierce some stars in it. And I'm trying to decide, the hat's probably going to be, it comes down pretty low. Nose there, beard, okay. If I'm going to put the beard there and pierce stars in it, it's not going to show up here. So I think I can make some, what can I do? I can either end up cutting out a little section for the light to go through, or probably just pierce some holes. Where is my hole cutter? Okay, I've got it somewhere. Guess it's time to reorganize my tools. It's gotten out of control here, John. There it is. So I bought this hole cutter, you know, because I just thought it was much better. All right, so the beard's gonna go about there. I'm just gonna make 3 holes and hope that works. Okay, now I've released the air and the clay is super soft, so I'm just gonna, because I need the place for the nose. Okay, let's see. I'm just gonna give it 3 holes right now. Okay, oh, it came out. So see, it comes out like this and you can remove it, but you have to turn it because there's like this part's missing, okay? I'll just stick that in there. I mean, if I want, I can just pop this out right now. Yeah, so it looks like a ghost right now, okay? Pop that out. All right, let's cut the beard and clean that up. Needle tool, needle tool. Where is my needle tool? Okay, now I can't find anything. Okay. Oh, I can't find it. Okay, time to clean up my tools here and organize it. Oh, here it is. It's buried. Okay. Now, this piece right here, I cut it, I mean, I rolled it out pretty thin. That's about 1/4 of an inch. So I'm going to have to be very careful handling this piece. Okay, just cutting it out there. All right, remove the excess, put it in the bag. Get this part right here. You need to clean the edges. It's going to be really hard to clean the edges. Like, oh, I forgot. I was supposed to do stars in this. Okay, you should pierce it first before you cut out the beard. Okay, star, star, star. All right, I think this is my star stamp. So I got this. I don't like it that much. It's, you know, because it's really for super thin pieces of clay. But I'll try using this. Okay. All right, so it cut out the, well, sort of. It has a spring mechanism in here. Let's see, it made a messy star. And I don't like that one bit. So I'm going to have to clean this up later, huh? I wish I had a bigger one. Okay, this one is for the polymer clay people, but we're going to use this one. It doesn't have a spring mechanism, but the good thing is, let me get rid of the extra clay in here. The clay gets stuck in here, but so you know, probably keep it in a little thing of water to help get the clay up. Okay, so this is for the polymer clay, and I like this because it's the same design all the way. This one stops short, like about even less than 1/4 of an inch. Okay, so I end up getting this roundish shape there. This is probably about the same size. Let me see if I can fix that one. No, I'll have to fix that later. Too bad. Okay, well, bummers. So I'll make another one here. Okay, see, it makes a much prettier star shape than the one near the pointy part. Okay, but you got to get this out of here. That doesn't come out. Oops. Yikes. Okay, all right. I didn't get that out. I have a feeling I better get that out. Oh yeah, there's a piece of hard one there. Okay. I think I got most of it out. I'll do another one here. So this beard is going to be really delicate and fragile right now. You really want to stamp your slab first before cutting it out, because sometimes pushing this in will push your clay out and distort it. So I got that out. I'll get this out. Okay. Now the other option, if you don't want to pierce these, is just to stamp them, texture them, or even carve out beard lines. Get this out. Okay, I'm gonna wet it again. And stamp it here. I'm not going to get close to the top edge, because that part, a little bit of it's going to probably be covered by the hat, his cap. So I'll put another one here. Okay, I do wet it every time because it seems to act as a lubricant, and it comes off a lot easier. Okay, so this first star is messed up. I'll have to deal with that later. I can't deal with it right now. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give it oh, this side looks even better, I think. Yeah, maybe that side's more crisp. Well, it doesn't matter. Okay, I picked up the paper towel print on that side, on the back side. Okay, so I want to smooth out the edges very carefully. Handle this. It's kind of sopping wet right now. And clean it up as much as you can right now. Let me see if I can clean up that one star. The X-Acto knife, the blade is very sharp, but it works really good, making some really clean cuts, except for I can't find my X-Acto knife. All right, definitely have to clean up my tool. This is ridiculous. All right, did something with my X-Acto knife. Well, let's see if I can clean it up with this. I just need to get rid of the burrs and all that. Okay, that's okay for now. All right, now this is going to go here. Not much of the light's going to shine, so maybe I make some more holes. Okay, so I'm going to make a few more holes. Let's see. I'm going to make the next side smaller. Turning this around. Did that come out? Nope. Pop that out. I should wet this. I'll make another hole. So it's a little bit delicate here, so go slowly and gently. All right, so that one came out. Probably smart to lubricate it every time. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to clean that later because the beard's going to cover it. So I'm just going to gently, okay? Try not to distort it and clean it. Just get rid of the burrs. So the beard is going to go here. Okay, I'm still not hitting it right. Let's see, what am I missing? I'm going to put a few more holes. Okay. Getting kind of dangerous here. Careful, careful, careful. Pop that out. Dip it in the water. I'm trying not to let these holes show as much. They might show, but I need some light. Let's see. That's a little better. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let me see. It's not exactly in the right spot. Okay, I'm going to do it right there. And right now it just looks like a bib, okay? And mark it where I'm going to score it. And very carefully score it really good here. Little tiny scores, a little bit of water. I'll use this little scores right there. Add a little bit of water. And the water is making it turn into mud, and that's what we want. So I'm going to score right here. And I'm actually going to use a brush to add water. Let's see if this is a clean brush. Hope it doesn't have color on it. Okay. Because if I use a sponge, it's probably going to dribble down. Okay. Just going to add a little bit of water. I guess you could use slip at this point, but I don't have any. So I'm just going to put this guy on about where it's supposed to be. Gently press it. Now, I don't have air trapped in here anymore, so I have to be really careful. I can feel it kind of gripping, but I'm just going to move it a little bit, see if I can jiggle it together, okay? Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. That's a big beard. It looks like a 4th of July beard right now. Let's hope it turns into a holiday gnome beard. Let's see. Where did that tool go now? Okay. I think I just have too many tools and it's just overwhelming here. All right. I hope maybe that beard's too long. Well, maybe I shouldn't have put stars in the beard. I'm not going to worry about it. Okay. I'm just going to hope it's all going to come out nice looking. So making sure that beard is on there real good. Now, the rim of the hat's going to come down over the beard, all right? So let's see if I can blend that a little bit better. I have to be careful because I don't have any air trapped in the ball and lose the shape if I. You can wait until it's a little bit the ball is a little bit, the pinch spots are a little bit stiffer, but we don't have time right now for that. So okay, so that is supposed to be the beard, and later on I guess I can shape it a little better. This is kind of like an abstract, Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and give him a nose. Just making a little round ball. Let's see what size nose he's going to be. Let's see. That's a big nose, but maybe just a little bit smaller. Wet it. Let's see about, I guess about there. So let me scratch up that part. I'm actually going to push it in a little bit. Careful, careful. Just push in that little place where I'm going to put the nose. Now you don't have to punch holes under its beard if you're not piercing the beard. Then it'll be easier to work with. Okay, I'll put the nose there. Sponge. Okay, we'll clean that up. Smooth it out. Okay. Now I am going to scratch a little bit right here. Okay, right here. I don't know if you can see it. Okay, where did I scratch it? Oh, right here. Oh, is that the center? Yeah, that's the center. And then wet this a little bit, scratch that very carefully. I'm going to stick the nose on, but I need to jiggle it, okay? So it makes mud there. And I can feel this, if I can, I'll wait until I feel the suction. So I'll just jiggle, 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 jiggle until it makes slip where it's joined. And you can feel it gripping, okay? So let me make sure I got this straight. Okay, it's on there pretty good right now. Okay, make sure it's clean. So that's his nose right now. Okay. All right, now we have to work on the hat. That's the part I have a hard time. Okay. So the hat, you know, I probably have a hard time because I don't make a paper pattern. All right, let's make a paper pattern. It doesn't need to be a super tall hat. Some people make super tall hats. Some people make medium sized hat. Okay, so you really need an arc. I kind of made an arc shape. I don't think that's big enough, but let's see. I actually like that size, okay? I just have to make it a little bit wider here. So now I did roll out clay ahead of time for that because I rolled it out so thin that it's very, very delicate. Okay, yeah, it may not be big enough. Ooh, getting close. Okay, we'll just stretch it out. What am I doing here? Oh, okay, this one's going to be a little bit hard to, I need to stamp the stars out. Let me see what I have here. Where did that stamp go? So don't be like me and have, oh, I know, I probably stuck it in here. Yeah, don't be like me and have a messy workspace. It just makes it frustrating and difficult. So I've got clay in here. Okay, this one's one of those push ones, but it's a bigger star, and I don't have a bigger star. And I guess I kind of need to know where this is going to be. So let's put this way, kind of like that in general. Okay, I'm going to do the star. Oh, that one was thin enough there that it, oh, I should wet this. Okay, I'm just gonna randomly. Okay, that one worked good. I got a paper towel underneath here, okay? Yeah, this is going to be a little bit challenging to do because the clay is so thin. I may have to stuff tissue in there. Okay, I've got 4 of these big ones. Now I gotta do the small one. Where did the small one go? Oh, my phone is talking to me for some reason. How do I get rid of this? Get this excess out. Actually, maybe I can use the small one because this is a very thin piece of clay. So yeah, let's try the small one. Not the sharpest, but it's okay. Okay, I'll put another one on. Trying to pierce this after you put the hat on is going to be next to impossible. So you need to pierce it now. I'm going to pierce it. And let's see. That's a messy star. Okay, I'm going to stop there. So now this is the edge of the rim. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. It's not going to be perfect. All right. And sponge. Okay, take this sponge, squeeze it out. I'm going to clean the rim a little bit. Oh, I forgot to cut this part. Okay, I'm going to cut a little bit extra here just in case, because I'm going to overlap to join it. All right, let's hope this works. If not, we start all over again. Well, I guess I shouldn't have done that. All right, I need an extra hand here. So that's him, and the seam should go in the back. Let's see. Oh, collapsing. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to keep this paper towel on the back, see if that'll hold up the, no, I'll put it on the front. See if it'll hold up the shape, it'll help me so it won't collapse. I probably should just put this together first. Okay. So we're going to take this. I'm going to keep the paper towel on, okay? And I need to score. This is like engineering. We have to think things through. So I'm going to score, and this is going to overlap, okay, and join. And score there. Score deeply. Okay, and then I have to score. Oh, this is so thin, it might stretch out the stars too. Yeah, you might, if you're kind of like a little bit concerned about things warping out, you might not want to pierce anything because that's a little bit challenging. Okay, now I'm going to use the paper towel as a helper. And you can stuff this. Oh, where did I score this wrong? Where's the scoring? Oh, I scored it wrong. Okay, back to the drawing board. Okay, I'm supposed to score there. All right. Okay, just hopefully I don't have to do this over this hat part, but I may have to. Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 tries before you get it just right. Okay, so once again, being careful not to stretch out the stars. All right, now I can overlap. All right. And if you want, you can stuff tissue in there so it won't collapse on you, but let me see if I can do this way. I have to get my hand in there. I'm going to try to keep the paper towel. Okay, so I scored that, so now it's all icky. Okay, and careful not to stretch out the stars. Press that in. I need a tool to help me press that inside seam. Okay, let's see what it looks like on the other side. Oops. But this looks like Mickey Mouse's the Sorcerer's Apprentice hat because of the stars on there. Okay, so unfortunately I have this mess here. I'm actually going to stuff a bunch of paper towels in here temporarily. because I need to clean up that mess I made. All right, that's going to help a little bit. Now I'm going to take, where did that rib go? Rib. Let's see if I can clean this up with this first. Now this seam is going to be in the back, so it doesn't have stars there. You can try to put another star there if you want. But since it's in the back, maybe it's not that important. Okay, sponge. Oops, too wet. Smooth it out. And sometimes I'll do this to the point, I'll just kind of wet my hands, my fingers. Get rid of that tiny point because that'll break off eventually. Okay, now I've got the paper towel in there. Take it out. And hopefully my seam is pretty good. Okay, now at this point, I'm just going to test it, make sure it's all right. All right, so it's a little bit big. I can cut, oh, you can't even see that. So it's a little bit big. I can cut the extra off. And what I'm going to do first is kind of flare it out, see what it looks like if I have a flared out rim. Yeah, I think the flared out rim looks better. So I'm not going to cut it. And I'm going to wet my finger here and gently give it a soft edge, all right? If your piece is collapsing once you put it on here, you can go ahead and stuff it. I would stuff it with soft toilet paper or tissue paper, not newspaper. Make sure my inside seam is good. Okay, so let's test this again. Yeah, I like that over, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it go over the nose like that. Okay, so I'm going to see where I'm going to put this, and you will have to take a pencil or something and mark it very gently. I mean, very lightly, where you're going to score, right? Okay. Here we go. And now I'm going to score. Oh, I still have marks over there. Okay, what I'm going to do is score here. Okay, we're kind of running out of time, so and if I want, since I know where the hat's going to be, I'm going to go ahead and cut this open, okay? My clay is soft, so you might want to wait until it stiffens up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to score it here and above the nose a little bit. Can I wet that with a brush? Score again. So before I put the head on, I'm going to cut open the head. I do have to score this too, but let me cut open the head real quick. Good blade for that. Okay, I'm going to give extra clay where I'm going to cut it, because I can probably later on reach inside and I have to be careful because my pinch pot is very, very thin. I made it super thin. If you make it thick, you can carve out the excess from the bottom, but and it holds it steady. Okay, well, it wasn't that super thin. All right, now I'm going to score the inside, just the inside of this rim after I wet it. Okay. And I have to be careful because this is very soft and thin clay. Okay. Find the back seam. Make sure everything's on there good in the right place. Okay. All right. Now, oops. Lower a little bit. And right here, let's hope I can do it. Just gonna flip it up a little bit. Okay. Okay, and gently kind of press it in place. And I kind of want the rim to kind of be a little bit defined, so I can kind of like flip it up a little bit, all right? So for today, that's as far as we got, but it's starting to look like a gnome. And I'm going to clean this out with a sponge, but kind of wet it and soften it up a little bit. And then I can like shape the hat. I think I am going to kind of give it a little, let's see if I can do this without distorting the stars too much, all right? So now because I have the hole on the top, I should get light coming out of his hat. So I'm just going to, just a little bit, and some of the stars are getting distorted. So you're gonna have to work on this. So when we come back next week, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and attach the hands and the feet, and you'll see it hopefully finished. And it's just a matter of rolling out little fat chubby, let me show you. Okay, it's just a matter of making something like this kind of a shape. Okay, it's kind of flat here. And then scoring it and then attaching it and then blending that. You might have to add extra clay. So it doesn't, you will kind of want to blend it. And as for the feet, I just make a round thing and I flatten here. Then I score it and just attach it a little bit to the edge. Okay, so it's going to look like that. This is for the other gnome. So the feet are a little bit tiny. Okay. And then after everything's down here pretty secure, I'll cut open, and it's a little bit stiffer. I'm going to cut open the bottom so I can insert a light, the fairy light or tea, whatever you call it, tea candles. And I may have to put his arm coming out. This arm's a little bit small. I'll have a longer arm, maybe, yeah, longer arm. So I should get light coming out from there and maybe a little here. And when it's a little drier, I can pierce here. And you got to get the arms on first, all right? So when you come back, this should be finished, all right? And so we will see you next time. Oh, don't forget, cover it with plastic and let it dry very, very slowly, okay? Because you got parts that can dry out faster than other parts. So we will see you next week, and next week will be the last one. Bye.